Shabbos Agodol, there is a mitzvah in Minik Ashkenaz to prepare the Agodah Shel Pesach. The Rama brings down the Minik Loimer b'mincho ha'agodah mitchilas avodim hoyinu at lechaper al kol avonuseinu. They don't say manishtana. They start from avodim hoyinu. Minik Tema not to say it, and the Gro and the Yabetz did not say it. The Gro says because it says Yochod mirosh chodesh Talmud Loimer b'yemahu. I would have a havamina to start saying the Agodah from Rosh Chodesh, Talmud Loimer, Bayomahu. Yochel mi be'oid yoim. I would have a havamina that you're allowed to say the Agodah Shel Pesach mi be'oid yoim. Talmud Loimer, ba'abur zeh, lo marte lo v'shosh yesh matzi umorim unochim lefonecho. You see that you cannot say the Agodah Shel Pesach, Erev Pesach. This is a grow in the Maser Rav. But this is a plea. There should be a isur to say the Agodah Shel Pesach. The Yabetz want to say there's a isur from Bal Toisif. Tamani al minik o Ashkenazim, says the Yabetz. So what is the machlokes between the minik Ashkenaz to say the Agodah Shel Pesach and the Minik Teimon and the Igro and the Yabetz not to say the Agodah Shel Pesach? The Avodron brings down B'Shem Deriv, why don't we make a brocho on Hagodah Shel Pesach? Because we are Yotze with Kiddush, Zecher Letzias Mitzrayim. From the Kiddush Agrach, Chaim Briski, mitzvahs in Yetzias Mitzrayim, Sipur Yetzias Mitzrayim. The whole year we have to be Zoicher Yetzias Mitzrayim, and the night of Pesach we have an extra 3 mitzvahs, and so we want to say 4 mitzvahs. What are the extra mitzvahs? Has to be B'derech She'elo u'tshuva. Manishtana, and you answer. Mashenkin the whole year round, you don't have to say She'elo u'tshuva. Second thing, Tzipur Yetzias Mitzrayim, in the night of Pesach has to be Maschil begnuz u'mesayim b'shvach. That you don't have to do the whole year. The third thing, you have to be Mefarish. Tam Gamliel Omer kol mish lo Omer. Pesach matzeh morer, and he was not masbir, lo yotzi yidei chovosa. And the fourth thing is, you're supposed to be Mitzaper Yetzias Mitzrayim until you bo lidei Halel, Hilul. Mashenkin the whole year round. You have to with Kriya Shema, Parshas Tzitzis. Comes out that the Sipur Yetzias Mitzrayim, the night of Pesach, has 4 tenoim, Mashenkin the whole year round, according to the Grach. When we say the Agodah Shel Pesach on Shabbos Agodol and Mincha, we start from Avodim Hayinu. We don't say it's not B'derech She'elo Tshuva. Even though we do start from the Genuz, but we don't say the She'elos and Tshuvas. So according to the Grach, there's no problem from Bal Toisif. That's the Minik Ashkenaz. But according to the Rif, that the Rahom brings down, the reason we don't make a brocho is because you yotze with Kiddush. You see from this that you're not mechuyev to say like the Grach say with Shalosh and Tshuvas, or Maschil Begnuz, or Mefarish Pesach Matzeh Morer. So according to the Abu Drohom, there's a tzad to say not to say the Hagodah Shel Pesach on Erev Pesach. For example, when Shabbos Agodol falls on Erev Pesach. How do we know the halacha that 30 yom livnei Chag is supposed to learn the Hilchos Chag from Pesach Sheni? 30 days before Pesach Sheni, Moshe Rabbeinu is teaching the Hilchos Pesach Sheni. What this in Avodah Zorah? Daf Heyomet Beis asks, Bizman hazeh there is no korban. So what does that mean? Sho'alim b'Hilchos Pesach 30 yom livnei Chag. You see from this Toisves that there's no mitzvah dafke to be doeg for the korban, but to be oisek in the tzorchei Chag. And the Meir says Meferish that 30 days before Pesach you have to start preparing for Pesach. Should not be mizrashil in the mitzvah. And comes Pesach says, I'm an oines. I did not have time to prepare. No, you have 30 days before Pesach. Same things with Sukkot. 30 days before Sukkot, you have to start preparing the Sukkah. You should not say, I'm honest, I don't have a Sukkah. You should have prepared 30 days before. But goes Hagram Horowitz wants to be mechadesh that maybe you mechuyev to learn the Hilchas Korban Pesach 30 days before Pesach, even Bizman Hazeh. Because we have to be choshesh that we're going to be chayiv in Korban Pesach, and we should be prepared. Efsheh dehod damrin and sho'alim behilchos Korban hu mishun shemechakim onu lebinyonoi shel beis hamikdosh. In Siman Tuf Lamet, Shabbos shel livnei haPesach korin oso Shabbos hagodol mipnei hanes shena'aseh bo. What was the nes that happened on Shabbos hagodol that we call it Shabbos hagodol? The Tur brings down that the Avodah Zorah from the Mitzrim was a seh. And the mitzvah was to take the seh and to shecht it. Mishchu ukchu lochem. Mishchu yedeichem me'avodah zorah ukchu lochem tzon shel Pesach. The mitzvah to uproot yourself from the avodas Mitzrayim, avodah zorah from Mitzrayim, and to use it for Korban Pesach. But there's a sakona. If the Mitzrim are seeing that you're taking the avodah zorah of them and shechting it, they're going to hurt us. And the nes was that they didn't do anything. Ve'ish loy omad bifneihem, like it says by the nes of Purim. They took the seh of Korban Pesach 4 days before the Shechita, and they had to tie it to the Karei Amita. And the Mitzrim asked, what are you doing? He says, we're going to shech this. Vehoyu shinehem kehois. They were grinding the teeth. Al sheshochatin es Eloheihem. Velo hoyu reshom lo Elohim dovor. The Mishabura brings it down. This happened on Shabbos, because Shabbos is 5 days before Shechitas Korban Pesach. Yetzias Mitzrayim was on Thursday. The Shechita was Yom Revi'i, on Shabbos, was the Kinyan Korban Pesach. Therefore, we call this Shabbos HaGodol. This is a term from the Tur Shulchan Aruch. The Beis Yosef brings a different reason. In Medrash says that the Bechorim, when they heard that they're going to share the Korban Pesach, it's going to be a Makas Bechoros. All the Bechorim of Mitzrayim are going to die. Zevach Pesach ul Hashem sheyarok Bechorei Mitzrayim. Right before the Makas Bechoros, we're going to eat the Korban Pesach. The Bechorim went to Paro and to the parents, and they asked they should leave the Yidden go out of Mitzrayim. And the parents did not want, and Paro did not want. So they made a revolution. The Bechoros made a milchomo, and many people were killed. Children were killed in their parents. And that's what the Pasuk says, Lemake Mitzrayim bivchoreihem kileorim chazda. There was a civil war. This happened on Shabbos. This is called the Shabbos HaGodol. The Pri Chodesh comes with a different reason. The reason it's called Shabbos HaGodol, just like a Bar Mitzvah Bocher. When it becomes a Godol, and is mechuyev in mitzvahs, we became gedolim and mechuyovim in mitzvahs by buying the Korban Pesach. And since this mitzvah happened by Asiri LaChodesh, and it was on Shabbos, so we call always the Shabbos before Pesach Shabbos HaGodol. The Levush has a kasha. Why does it have to do with Shabbos? Every Asiri LaChodesh should be called Yom HaGodol. Why is it toloi on Shabbos? So the Levush wants to answer that the Yidden Mitzrayim had a Kabbalah to be Shomer Shabbos and not to touch animals. And now this Shabbos, everyone is touching animals. So they asked, why is this Shabbos different than all the Shabbosim? And they said, we're going to shech the Korban Pesach. The Meilo, the Milsa the Tmiyasa was because it was Shabbos. The Levush goes with the Cheshbon of Muktzah, but the Prisha goes with the Cheshbon of Kshira. They had to tie the Korban Pesach to the Kare Hamita. And the Goyim don't know the difference between a Kesher Shel Kayoma and a Kesher She'enu Shel Kayoma. And he asked, how come you are tying, not supposed to tie? The Bach comes with a different reason. Why is Basir LaChodesh? Because there was a different nez that happened Basir LaChodesh. In the times of Yehoshua, Hayarden Yisov LeOchor. The Yarden split. Basir LaChodesh was a big ness. Klal Yisrael went to Eretz Yisrael, and the entire world saw the Yarden going up and up. And that day was considered Yom HaGodol. So the Bach says, Hoyu to'im loimar she'al shem hanes she'olo min ha'Yarden nikra Godol. Why is it called Godol? Because they came out from the Yarden. Therefore, they were meyaches to Shabbos, to remember the Nez that happened in Mitzrayim, because that Nez happened on Shabbos, but the Nez of Yarden did not happen on Shabbos. Therefore, we call it Shabbos HaGodol, to remember the Nez that happened on Shabbos. The Afuke for the Nez that happened on that same day, but was not on Shabbos. The Chido brings down that in that time there was Makas Choshech, and the Mitzrim did not see anything. So what are the Mitzrim asking questions, why are you doing this, why are you doing that? They didn't see was Makas Choshech, like the Tur says. So it brings down from the Turim himself, from the Baal HaTurim, that the Makas Choshech was not Sholet on Shabbos. Therefore, the Mitzrim were able to see B'schus Shabbos. Therefore, we call it Shabbos HaGodol. Sho'alim Behilchus Pesach Koidim LePesach 30 Yom. 30 days before Pesach, you ask the Hilchus Pesach. The Ran learns, if two Talmidim came to ask two different shalos, one asked about Pesach and one asked about something else, who has Kedima to get the answer? So 30 Yom Lifnei Pesach, the one who asks Hilchos Pesach has Kedima to be answered. That's the way the Ran learns, the Ran and the Rashba. When does 30 days start? A Machloikis. The Mishnah Berurah learns from Purim on. The Pri Chodesh says from Shushan Purim on. So Shalshin Tshuvos Ho'elev Lecho Shlomo from Shlomo Kliger brings an interesting sofik. In Purim, two people ask shalos. One asks about Pesach, and one asks about Purim. Who has Kedima to get answered? The one who asks about Pesach because that's a locha, 30 Yom Lig B'nei Chag, or the one who's asking about Purim because today is Purim. The Pri Bagudim takes the pshitas that the one who asks the Hilchos Purim has Kedimo. But the Shlomo Kliger says we have a klal Todir u'mekudash. You have two mitzvahs. One comes all the time, and one has more kedusha. For example, you have the mitzvahs Tefillin, which has kedusha, and you have the mitzvahs Mezuzah, let's say, which is Todir. Which one has Kedimo? Hilchos Pesach is a deoraise. Hilchos Purim is a derabonim legabe Pesach. So two people asking shilas. One is asking about Hilchos Pesach, one on Hilchos Purim. One has a shaila of Dover Shehu Mekudash Yoiser, and he says Tzorich Iyun. Same things with Tefillin and Tzitzis. Tefillin is Mekudash, and Tzitzis is Todir. We have Tzitzis the whole week. Tefillin we don't have at night, and we don't have at least on Shabbos and Yom Tov. The reason we are makdem tzitzis is al pi Zohar, like the Bir Halacha brings from the Gra at the beginning of Hilchos Tefillin. But Mikra Din, says the Shagas Aryeh, is a iboy de lo ifsheto. Therefore, is a tzorich yin. In Parshas Bahaloischo, in the sugya from Pesach Sheni, ויהיו אנושים אשר היו טמאים לנפש אדום, ולא יוכלו לעשות הפסח. ביום ההוא, on י"ד Nisan, they came to Moshe Rabbeinu, we cannot do the Pesach. These people were טמא לנפש אדום. ויאמרו האנושים ההם אליו, אנחנו טמאים לנפש אדום, למה ניגורא לבלתי הקריב את קורבן השם במועדו בתוך בני ישראל? Why should we lacking the mitzvah of הקרבת קורבן פסח, together with all the Yidden? ויאמר עליהם משה, עמדו באשמה מעיצה והשם לכם. Wait, I'm going to see what HaKadosh Baruch Hu answers. It's Bamidbar Tes, Posik Vov, Tilches. Who were these people? Do we have the names? It's a machloikas in the Gemara. The Gemara Masechta Sukkot of Chov Hei, Omed Aleph and Omed Beis. Tanya, one shita says, Noise Aaron Shel Yosef. That's Rabbi Yosef Aglili. Rabbi Akiva says, Mishoel be'el Tzofon, that they were being oisek in the Kvura of Nodov and Avihu. They were niftan Rosh Chodesh Nisan. Yem Shmini lemeluim. And 14 days later they were Tome. Rabbi Yitzchok Omer, Im Nose Aaron Shel Yosef hayu, Kvar hayu yicholim letaher. They could have been metaher themselves. They don't have to wait for the last minute. And the same thing is Mishoel and Tzofon. They could have been metaher. There's 7 days. How long does it take to be metaher for Paraduma? From Rosh Chodesh Nisan until Erev Pesach, it's 14 days. Elo, the Gemara says, people were being osek in Meis Mitzvah, and the Shvi, the last day of the Tahara, was Erev Pesach. And that's what says in Pasuk, V'lo yochlu la'asos ha-Pesach b'yoyim hahu. But tomorrow they will be able to make the Korban Pesach. Who were these people that they couldn't do the Korban Pesach? In the Midbar, that's the only time they made a Korban Pesach, once in the Midbar, and they did not have another chance to make a Korban Pesach. Who are these people? The Gemara's Maskona is people that had a Meis Mitzvah 7 days before Korban Pesach, which they does Ches Nisan, Ches, Tes, Yud, Yud Aleph, Yud Beis, Yud Gimel. Yud Dalet will be the 7th day. So the 7th day, they need Poraduma, and they asked him, Loman Yigora, how come we cannot make the Korban Pesach with all the Yin together? So the Cheskun says, I don't understand what's the problem. Everyone else were Tohor, and they were Tome. That's why they cannot bring a Korban Pesach. So what kind of time is Loman Yigora? Why are we different? They're different because they were Tome. So the Cheskun wants to say a Chidush, that they were asking like this. Why is it the last year in Mitzrayim we brought a Korban Pesach and we did not need Poro Adumo? Why is it that this year we need Poro Adumo? Manishtano Hashono Hazoiz Mishono Acheres. Shebashono Acheres we were Makrif Korban Pesach without Poro Adumo. And this year we have to be metayr ourselves with Poro Adumo. But it's very difficult to understand. This was after Matan Torah. After Matan Torah there's an Afkemino between a Tome and a Tohar. Before Matan Torah, there was no difference. The Ramban and the Ibn Ezra being down, there was a shita that Nodov Avihu were nifter on Ches Nisan, not on Rosh Chodesh Nisan. Yom HaShmini doesn't mean the Shmini lemeluim, but Yom HaShmini means the 8th day of the Chodesh. So Mishoel and El Tzafon, they had to wait 7 days to be metayr themselves. The 7th day was on Shabbos, because Rosh Chodesh was Sunday. The 8th day was Sunday. The 7th day was Shabbos. And there is a Gezerah, Shema Yavirenu Dalet Amos Beshus Harabim. You can blow the shofar on Shabbos. You cannot lay in the Megillah on Shabbos. You cannot bench Lulav on Shabbos because Omer Rabba, Gezerah, Shema Yavirenu Dalet Amos Beshus Harabim. And the Rishonim bring down from this, that is a raya that this Gezerah was a Gezerah Mimos Moshe Rabbeinu. Therefore you cannot spritz the Mechatos on Shabbos, Mishum Gezerah Derabonon. They came on Shabbos, the 7th day of the Tahara from the Poraduma, and they asked Moshe Rabbeinu, Loma Nigora, why can't we spritz the Poraduma? What's the question? The Rana Takashe, how come by Bris Milah we do make on Shabbos and we don't have a Gezerah Shema Yavirenu? Why is Bris Milah different than Megillah, Shofar, Lulav, and Poraduma? And the answer is, Milah is different than all the mitzvahs, because Milah yesh bo kores. If somebody doesn't do Bris Milah, there's a tzad kores, there's a chiyuv kores. So it's so strong that Chazal did not want to be mevatel Milah b'Shabbos because of this Gezerah. That's number one. Second time the Ran says, Milah, the father is going to make a Bris Milah on Shabbos, and he might carry the kid in Shus Rabim or the Meser. People are going to remind him, Rab Yid is Shabbos, he has Shomrim. Masha'enken, Lulav, Shofar, Megillah, there's no Shomrim because everybody is busy. That's what the Ran says. According to these two terutzim, why is Poro Adumo different? Poro Adumo, legabe Korban Pesach, on Shabbos, if somebody does not do Korban Pesach, is Chayiv Kores, just like Milah. There are two mitzvahs that say there's Chayiv Kores, Milah and Korban Pesach. So they asked Moshe Rabbeinu, Lo Manigora, why is it Korban Pesach different than Milah? Or we can say b'derech remes, since this was the only akravas korban Pesach that the Yidden did in the Midbar, they knew that next year they were not going to be makriv korban Pesach, so they were very excited and said, Lo manigora, why can't we make an exception? If somebody took away the mitzvahs biur chometz, mitzvahs bedikas chometz, does he have to pay 10 zehuvim? Somebody wanted to be mekayim the mitzvahs biur chometz, and his friend went and he took the chometz from his chaver and he burned it himself. Does he have to pay? He took away the mitzvah from him. This is told in the Chakiro המפורסמת. תשביסו is a mitzvah מעשה או אל תעשה, שלא יהיה ברשות החומץ. זה חקירה from the מנחס חינוך. If it's a mitzvah עשה, he's מחייב to pay him עשרה זהובים. For the tzad that it's a mitzvah אל תעשה, he's becoming the mitzvah that he doesn't have חומץ. He wasn't חוטב ממנו כלום. ממילא he doesn't have to give him anything. But since we make a brocho, we don't make a brocho and אל תעשה. We make a brocho נעשה. We take on, there's a mitzvah עשה. That is מחויב to give him עשרה זהובים. What is the shear of עשרה זהובים? In your day we say that pidyon haben, which is 5 shkolim, is equivalent to 2 zehuvim. So if 2 zehuvim is pidyon haben, עשרה zehuvim is 5 times the amount of pidyon haben. Pidyon haben is 5 shkolim times 5, 25 shkolim. Today we say that a shekel is $20. Pidyon haben is $100. So עשרה zehuvim is $500. Each zohuv $50. Which means for every time we make a brocha is worth $500. Because if somebody is choytev from somebody else a brocha, he has to pay him asoro zehuvim, $500. So let's make a cheshbon. A person makes a day minimum 100 brochos. Multiply 100 times $500. $50,000 is worth a davening. One day is $50,000. 7 days, 1 week is $350,000. 1 month, 4 weeks is $1,400,000. 12 months, 1 year, $16,800,000. 10 years is equivalent to $168 million. 20 years is $236 million. 40 years is $472 million. 60 years is $708 million. 70 years is $976 million. 80 years is $1,144 million. So Yemei Shnusenu in Gvuras 80 Shana worth of just brochos is over $1 billion. The mitzvahs tashbisu, is it the entire Yom Tov of Pesach or Dafke Erev Pesach, Yudalet Nisan? The Chor is a machloikis between the Noido Beyehudo and the Sdei Hemet. The Noido Beyehudo says Bepashtus, the mitzvahs aseh from tashbisu is noheg the entire Pesach. And the Sdei Hemet brings down from Divrei Ho'aderes that is only noheg Erev Pesach. The Noido Beyehuda brings a raya from a Rambam. If somebody finds chometz in the middle of a Pesach and he wants to be mekayim the mitzvah from lo yero lecho chometz, does he make a brocho or he doesn't make a brocho? We have a klal on the mitzvahs lo saseh alav, we do not make a brocho. The Rambam paskens that if somebody finds chometz inside his home on Pesach, he makes a brocho al biur chometz. You see from the Rambam that it is not alav. Is a mitzvah aseh from tashbisu. But the Sdei Hemet brings a divrei ho'aderes that smashva from Rashi daf samech gimel omet aleph mesechta psochim that the chiyuv of burning chometz on Pesach is it should not be over on the love of bal yeroe u bal yemotze. But the mitzvah tashbisu does not exist in middle of Pesach. And it brings a raya from a Baal HaTurim. Ach b'yom harishon tashbisu seor mivotechem. The word ach is begematria 21. The word chova is also 21. There's only a chov the first day, which means it's Erev Pesach, like the Gemara Darshans. But be'emes the Sdei Hemet is doche the raya from the Divrei Ho'aderes, because you have to see the whole entire Baal HaTurim. Baal HaTurim is talking about the mitzvahs achilas matzah, not the mitzvahs aseh of tashbisu. This is Baal HaTurim. Bo'erev tochlu matzas. Doesn't say matzos with a vov. It's a kriyu naksiv. Chosor vov. Vov means 6. Sheishes yomim reshus. To eat matzah, ach b'yom harishon tashbisu. Ach b'gematria chova, there's a chov to eat matzah the first day. So you see, the Baal HaTurim is not talking about the mitzvahs aseh of tashbisu. The Baal HaTurim is talking about the mitzvahs aseh of achilas matzah. But be'emes is the hefech. The posik is talking about mitzvahs tashbisu, not mitzvahs achilas matzah. So we have a machloikis between the Noido Beyehudo and the Aderes. If there's mitzvahs aseh of tashbisu, toch Yom Tov shel Pesach. In Shalshin Tshuvas Gur Aryeh brings like the Aderes that the mitzvah tashbisu is only Erev Pesach bilvad. B'yom Yudalet. After Yudalet, he was mevatel the mitzvah aseh of tashbisu. After Piken, there's a second mitzvah to be mevatel the chometz on Pesach, also a tashbisu from seor. And he says it's like a mitzvah smila. Mitzvah smila is b'yom hashmini. If it does not become the mitzvah yom hashmini, he has to be Mekayim Shar Yomim. So he wants to say two mitzvahs tashbisu. Tashbisu be Yom Yudalet and tashbisu be Pesach. Is it shaykh to be Mekayim mitzvahs tashbisu burning a mashehu chometz? There are shittas who hold that there's no mitzvahs tashbisu if somebody owns Chotzi Zayis Chometz. You have to own a whole Zayis Chometz to be over the mitzvahs tashbisu. We don't say Chotzi Shiur also min Torah by Shiur Chometz. So what would be the din if somebody has a Kezayis Chometz and he burns a mashu, so you don't have anymore a Kezayis Chometz? According to the shittas, you're not over on Chotzi Shiur. But Yiroeh, is he mekayim the mitzvahs tashbisu or not? In Shalish and Chubas Evi Yekoro, he wants to say he's not mekayim the mitzvahs tashbisu by burning Hefa Chometz, by being mimayed the Shiur Chometz. And he brings a eye from Geneva. If somebody steals a chotzi pruto, he's not over on Geneva. Only if it steals an entire pruto. He has a mitzvah hashovas havedo, hashovas Geneva. Madech an havedo you have to give back. Alachas kama v'kama a Geneva you have to give back. It brings a Gemara in Buvekamo daf Kuf Hey Omid Aleph. The Gemara says even though the gazelle is not here, but the hashova wasn't here either. If somebody gave back only half of the shir pruto, he's not mekayim mitzvah hashova. Even though we don't have a Geneva now in his hands, he stole a shir pruto and he gave back a chotzi pruto. Geneva he did, hashova he didn't. Somebody owned a kazayis and he burnt a chotzi zayis. He wants to say he's not over anymore on Bal Yiroeh, but he's not mekayim the mitzvah saseh of tashbisu, because the mitzvah saseh of tashbisu is on a shiur kazayis. In Shalish and Shuvas Mishnah Sochir, I want to say he's told in the Chakiro of the Minchas Chinuch. Is the mitzvah tashbisu mitzvah kumaseh or shevel taseh? If the mitzvah is kumaseh, then over here he did not do the kumaseh to burn a kazayis. If the mitzvah is shevel taseh, you should not have a kazayis. He doesn't have a kazayis. He was mekayim the mitzvah. He doesn't have any chometz. That is the mitzvah. The Minchas Elazar, less than a kazayis, and it's not chometz. And there is a Yeshua's Yankov in Simen Tuv Mem Dalet. If somebody buys chometz on Pesach, bochos mi kazayis, even though it's less than the shir from Bal Yiroeh, but since he was machshiv, achsheve, the shit of Yeshua's Yankov, he's over. So how about if somebody had chometz hakazayis and he burnt half a kazayis? Is that called achsheve? So the Minchas Elazar says, no, that's not considered achsheve. Achsheve is only when you did a kumaseh and you bought chometz, you wanted to have the chometz. So the Even Yekoro says you're not mekayim mitzvahs tashbisu, and the Minchas Elazar holds you are mekayim mitzvahs tashbisu. And the Mishnah Sochi wants to say, it's told in the Chakira from the Minchas Chinuch, if the mitzvah is a kumaseh or sheval taseh. If it's a kumaseh, you're not mekayim the mitzvah tashbisu. Like the Even Yekoro, the mitzvah is sheval taseh, you are mekayim like the Minchas Elazar. Mitzvah zaseh shehazman gromo. We know noshim are peturos from mitzvahs aseh that are tluyois in zman. Mitzvahs lo aseh they are chayovos. Mitzvahs aseh dafke if they're not tluyois in zman. How do we know that? The Gemara in Masechta Kedushin learns from Talmud Torah. It says by Talmud Torah, "V'limadtem atem es beneichem, v'lo es benoseichem." And huksho Talmud Torah letfilin, just like tefillin is not shaykh by Shabbos and Yom Tov, and according to some even by night. Tefillin is a mitzvah haseh shazman gromo. So all the mitzvahs haseh shazman gromo, noshim are peturos. What is with the mitzvah of achilas matzah? And noshim chayovas b'mitzvahs achilas matzah. Matzah is a mitzvah shazman gromo. So the Gemara says that mitzvahs matzah is hukash to the mitzvah of chometz. Chometz is a lav. Noshim chayovas and isur chometz. The Gemara in Pesachim Dav Mem Gimel Umud Beis says in Parshas Re'ei, Loi sochal olov chometz shivas yomim toichal olov matzos. Kol sheyeshno bekum echol matzo yeshno bebal toichal chometz. The mitzvahs matzah is hukash to the isur chometz. Anybody who cannot eat chometz must eat matzah. What would be the din by the mitzvahs aseh of tashbisu? Ach bayoim harishon tashbisu seor mi batechem. This is a mitzvah erev Pesach to make hashbosas chometz, to burn the chometz. This is a mitzvah aseh shazman gromo. Are noshim chayovos in that mitzvah or not? Sefer HaChinuch mitzvah tes. Mitzvahs tashbisu noheges bechol mokom, bechol zman, bezchorim ubednekevos. So the Shagas Ari, the Simon Pei base, ask why is it that Noshim Chayovas and the mitzvahs tashbisu is a mitzvah saseh shazman gromo? So he wants to say just like there are Chayovas and mitzvahs matzo, because matzo is hukash to chometz, there are Chayovas and mitzvahs tashbisu, so they should not come to be over on isur chometz. So that's in Yom Tov. If somebody finds chometz on Yom Tov, he has to burn it. How about Erev Yom Tov? You're not over in Bal Yiroeh and Bal Yimotze on Erev Yom Tov. Is there a mitzvahs noshim to burn the chometz erev Yom Tov? The pasuk says, "Ach b'yom horishon tashbisu seor mipotechem," and we learn that goes on erev Yom Tov also. Since the Torah is kolel Erev Yom Tov with Yom Tov. So just like in Yom Tov they are chayovos because it's hukosh to chometz. And Yom Tov is also chayovos in mitzvahs asef and tashbisu. In Sefer Torah's Chesed says, since mitzvahs tashbisu is a mitzvah that is mesak in the love of Bal Yeroeh, so the mitzvah's love of Bal Yeroeh is gorer the aseh of tashbisu. The tashbisu is a tikkun of the love of Bal Yeroeh. So this tikkun is gorer the mitzvah's aseh and gives it to the noshim also. The Gemara speaks only about matzah, and the Achronim speak about the mitzvah's tashbisu. Mitzvahs biur chometz. Somebody was mevair chometz erev Pesach. Is he mekayim the mitzvahs hashboso even though he still has chometz in his house? Or you have to get rid of all the chometz, otherwise you're not mekayim the mitzvahs hashboso. We have a machlokes between the Noidov Yehuda and the Or Sameach. The Noidov Yehuda, Rechaim Simon Mem Aleph, he says you are mekayim the mitzvah even though you still have chometz. He says, for example, if somebody found out in the middle of a Pesach that he was yoresh chometz before Pesach, he did not know about it. He was not mevar that chometz before Erev Pesach. Bechiyale ala hada'as hoil ve'enu yochel lekayim mitzvahs tashbisu bechometz ahu lo yiye mitzvahs min ha'toiro lehashbis gam chometz shebebeiso. He found out he has a yerusha of chometz someplace else. That chometz he got Erev Pesach. He did not know he owned it. He was mekayim the mitzvahs tashbisu Erev Pesach from his chometz. So you want to say that since he still owns chometz even though he did not know about it, he was not mekayim the mitzvahs tashbisu, it's a broch de batolo? Chas v'sholom. But there are cholkim on this. Somebody has two children, te'umim, twins, to be mekayim the mitzvahs milo. Does he make a separate brocha for each one or one brocha for both? The Rosh brings a Raif Natur. Behilchas bedikas chometz. Somebody has many batim, many houses to be botik chometz. Does he make an extra brocha for each bais or one brocha for all? The Tur says, brocho achas lekulon al biur chometz. Same thing with mitzvahs milo. One brocha for both children. The Or Sameach wants to be mehalek, mehavdil between milo and biur chometz. The mitzvahs biur chometz in the gavra, a person not supposed to have chometz. Doesn't matter how many houses he have. Even if he has 1,000 houses, he has one mitzvah. It's not a mitzvah in the house, a mitzvah in the gavra, and the person who owns the chometz. Mashenken by milo, every child has a different mitzvahs milo. So for the children, he makes an extra brocha of extra mitzvahs milo. Mashenken by chometz, and all the 1,000 houses, one brocha is enough for all of them. The this Or Sameach also argues with the Noidov Yehuda. What does the Noidov Yehuda say? That if somebody has chometz in his reshus, afapiken he was yoy to the mitzvahs bir chometz with a different chometz that he burnt. Two separate mitzvahs. The Or Sameach argues with that. The mitzvahs on the person, not on the house. We know there's a mitzvah chefzo and mitzvahs gavro. The mitzvahs tashbisu, to destroy the chometz, is that the chometz should not be around, should be destroyed, the chefzo of chometz. Or the mitzvah is that the gavro should not own any chometz. Is mitzvahs tashbisu a mitzvahs gavro or mitzvahs chefzo? Is Rab Chaim wants to say is Torah Machlokes in the Mishnah, Rabbi Yehuda and the Chachomim. What is the mitzvahs hashboso? Davke be'esh or bechol dover? Rabbi Yehuda says davke be'esh. The Chachomim say bechol dover. You can throw in water, you can throw in the air, as long as you don't own it. What's the Machlokes between Rabbi Yehuda and the Chachomim? Rabbi Yehuda holds that he's a chefzo. The chometz has to be destroyed. How do you destroy the chometz? Like you destroy noiser, but esh destroyfu. You have to bring the hefts of chometz to burn it. The chachomim say no. The mitzvah is that the gavra should not own chometz. How do you get rid of the chometz? Bechol over. Doesn't matter how. So Rab Chaim said the machlokes between Rabbi Yehuda and the chachomim is tolu in the machlokes of the chakiro. Is a isur hefza or isur gavra? Rabbi Yehuda says he's a hefza and the chachomim says a isur gavra. The Penina Pesach wants to say the same thing over here. The machlokes between the Noidov Yehuda and the Or Sameach is isur hefza or isur gavra. The Or Sameach holds a isur gavra. The mitzvah and the gavra. He shouldn't own chometz. Kotzman, he owns chometz. He was not mekayim the mitzvah. The Noidov Yehuda says no. The mitzvah is an iser chefza. Even if you still own chometz, you were mekayim the mitzvah's chometz with whatever you got rid of. So comes out that Noidov Yehuda does not stim with Rabbi Yehuda in the Gemara.